Hello, welcome to today's video. We're continuing with the front axle change refurb thing on the Discovery, and today we are working on the swivels. We've got the two seals in each swivel to replace, and we've got the stub axles to rebuild, and then we've got the hubs to build up with the new brake discs and all that kind of stuff. So there's lots to do, and yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm waiting on two stub axle gaskets. They will be here next week, so I can't put everything on the car till they arrive, but we can get everything ready to just go on once we're ready for it. So yeah, let's get on. So I've got the first seal here. I've cleaned it all up. All I've got to do is take this old seal off, give it another clean, and then put the new seal back on with the retaining ring. Then there's another seal that's going to go in the swivel ball. So we'll get them both over. Some tools and my box of goodies. So I'm just going to remove this seal here. It just slots straight out. Just pull it over the top of the bolt. That's going to need cleaning out. So get a bit of rag, give it all a right good clean. There we go. Pretty happy with that. Give the ball a good wipe as well. There we go. So all I'm going to do with this seal is get a bit of EP90 and run it around the inside. Just adds a bit of lubricant, and then we can slide it over and drop it in. There we go. And we get one of our retaining rings, and there's a certain way they go on. And it's not that way. There's two cutouts there, which I think are for them too. Oh yeah, there we go. Goes on there. So there's a couple of cutouts in the rings. Show you where to put them. Take a little bit of fathoming out. And then these are the seal bolts, nuts, bolts, whatever you want to call them. And we just pop them in there. They're 8mm. Nice and straightforward. There we go, that'll do. Give it a bit of a wipe round. Now we're going to replace the seal in the top of the ball. I've actually put some masking tape over this to stop any dirt going inside the ball. Let's just peel that off. Clean the bin. And I also stuffed it with tissue. Right. So get my seal puller, pop it in, gently pull it out. Now we'll get the new seal. Which doesn't actually look the same. Strange. That was the same. I'm wondering if that was in the wrong way. I think that's got to go in that way. Yeah, I think that was in the wrong way around. Let me double check that. Okay, so we're back. I've had a quick look in the manual and it says to fit it with the seal lips trailing. Now I'm thinking that the drive shaft's got to come through this way into the axle. So you want it to be sort of clamping onto it. If it was to go that way, it'd probably push it outwards, so I think the seal goes in that way. I'm going to fit it that way. That's probably the most likely. This one came out like this. Same sort of thing, seal lips facing outwards. So yeah, we'll go with that. Okay, that's that one done, complete. Just wants a quick wipe round, make sure everything's all nice and clean, and that's ready for the stub axle to be attached. Like I say, we're waiting for the stub axle gaskets, so we can't attach that just yet. So I'll put that one to one side and we'll do the other one. I'm not going to show you how we do the other one because it's exactly the same as this one. We'll just get cracked on and we'll get that sorted, and then we'll make a start on the stub axles. Okay, so that's the swivels all sorted. They're ready for just, well, we're waiting for the gaskets for the stub axles. So the next job we're going to do is build up these stub axles. I've got two brand new ones and all the inserts are all brand new as well. We've got new oil seals, new bearings, new thrust washers and the new stub axles themselves. So, first we're going to fit the oil seal. Should be pretty straightforward. The good thing about having new parts is you don't have to take old parts apart. And it looks like it's already greased. So that is going to go in like that. I'll find a socket that fits over that and we'll tap that in. So I've got a 32mm socket and we're just going to pop that in. A little bit of oil around the edge. Slot that in like that. Tap that in till it won't go any further. There we go. Okay, now we're going to do the bearing. There is also grease around the inside of this stub axle. We're going to have it so the part number is facing upwards. Now unfortunately I haven't got a socket that's big enough for that, so I'm going to have to work my way around just tapping it. Which unfortunately isn't the best way to do it. There we go. And that is flush with the top of the stub axle. Next is the thrust washers, and that is pretty much the same process. You'll hear a change in the note when it hits the bottom. So that's it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a bit of grease in this bearing. I've got some of this good stuff over here. This is Molly grease from Gwyn Lewis. Highly recommended stuff. I'm just going to lather it in that. Kids are having a good time in the garden. Sun's shining, the kids are out playing. Yeah, plenty of grease in there. I'll wheel the bearing round as well just to make sure everything's coated. Quick wipe round. There we go. Just got the other to do. Ready to go on the car. I'll watch how quickly I do this one. There you go. Magic. 2 stub axles. Now, the next job that we're going to do is we're going to build up the hubs with the new brake discs. Side hub, a disc. That will do. Okay, so these are the parts that we're going to need for rebuilding this hub. We've got a new oil seal, we've got the bearing. I have labelled the bearing offside inner bearing. I've labelled them because I need to know which one's offside and near side and which one is inner and outer. Because we haven't changed the bearings or the races, they are mated to each other, so they have to go back in the same position they came off. So we've got them, we've got the disc bolts, and we've got some thread lock, some grease, everything we need to rebuild this. The first job that we're going to do is fit the disc. So I don't need that label anymore. What I'm going to do is, all you do is flip it over and it goes on the back of the hub. Slot it on and then get your bolts. Really straightforward. These are a 12-point socket, 14mm, and give them a little bit of thread lock as well. There we go. They're somewhat tight. It's looking good. Right. Now I need to make sure that inside and the outside is perfectly clean because we're going to start putting the bearing in. So, ton of brake cleaner. Give it all a right good clean. Don't want any contaminants in there because it will just knacker up the bearings straight away. You see that's filthy in there. Dust from the workshop. That's looking nice and clean now. Give it another quick squirt. Now you notice I'm doing the front and the back because once the bearing's in I can't be putting brake cleaner in because it'll just knacker up the grease. So that's the front done. There we go. Nice and clean. Could eat your dinner off it. Right, get your bearing. There's a few different ways people like to do this. I like to do it with a bit of grease in my hand. You get a dollop of grease in your hand and you want to just feed it into the bearing, pushing it in with the palm of your hand and pulling it with this hand. Just work your way around, feeding it in. It is a messy job. There's no way around it. This is just what you got to do. Just work your way around. You want to see it oozing out of in between the rollers. Get as much as you can in there. As you might be able to see, it is oozing out the top, which is good. I'll smother it all around. Lovely. And I'm just going to drop that in. There we go. Right, new gloves. Now we're going to fit the oil seal. So I'm just going to clean the inside edge. Make sure it's nice and clear. I'm going to put a little bit of grease on the edge of the bearing. Talking about on the edge of the oil seal. And the seal goes in with the lip facing upwards. Not a lot of places tell you that. It's very hard to find that information out. Now I need to just put something over it and tap it round. See if I can find something big enough. Nope. I do have an old bearing race somewhere. Here we are. I've got an old bearing race that will fit over perfect. So there's the oil seal. You can see the bearing race. Perfect. Keep your old bearings. They do come in handy. Now we're just tapping it in. Try and get it in straight. It's not so easy with a rubber hammer. Now I try and tap it down so the lip of the seal is just above, well, just below the surface of the hub. It's not far off now. Hello? You step.
Yeah. You stand up. What?
You stand up and look, can't you?
Yeah.
This is Sophia.
Yeah.
Say hello.
Hello.
She's just got a new step so that she can reach things, which is a good and a bad thing. You're into everything now, aren't you?
Yeah.
I think that will do.
I can do this way, like that. I'm taking it back in.
Yeah, you take it back in, good girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Perfect. And that's all there is to it. One hub with the bearing in. Now what I will do is, when I come to fit the front bearing, I will pack the inner bit with a bit of grease just to help it all lubricate around. But yeah, that's one done. Now we'll move on to the next one. Right, that's all the hubs built up. I'm just going to torque them up using the wheel method and my torque wrench, tightening them up to 73 Newton meters. There we go. All done. Well, that's pretty much it for this video. Join me next time when we're going to be starting to fit some of these parts to the axle, and then we're going to be looking at the brake calipers. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.